Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Today we're gonna present for LPE 2301 attractive presentations. The title for our presentation is The Challenge of Online Educations. But before we started, we would like to introduce ourselves first. My name is Khairul Iman bin Zulkifli and my metric number is 209106.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Azizul bin Mahdi and my metric number is 208430.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Afiq bin Muhammad Afandi and my metric number is 209111.
Did you know that during the COVID-19 pandemic, most of the countries around the world are affected and Malaysia is not accepted? So, our government implement the Movement Control Order, which is MCO, to manage and cope that virus so it cannot spread out. Stay at home, that is what government said. So, for three of us as a UPM student, from the beginning of our admission as bachelor student until the end of our second semester, which is right now, honestly, we have never felt the atmosphere for being the college student. We cannot have a lesson in the lecture room. We cannot hang out with our friends to the cafe. And did you know what the sadder thing is? Some of us didn't even recognize their own classmate. And that is what happened to me. But for our learning session still going on, it is not an exception. We still have to go through learning session, but with a difference than the traditional one. That is what we call online education. Online education is a form of education where students can use their own device, whether smartphone, laptop, computer, or iPad, as long as it can reach the internet access. Online education is a way to teach and learn outside of traditional classroom and away from school or college campus. The COVID-19 pandemic has triggered these new ways of learning. For many education institutes, this is an entirely new way of education that they have to adopt. Online learning is now applicable not just to learn academic, but it also extends to learn extracurricular activities for students. In recent months, the demand for online learning has risen significantly, and it will continue doing so in the future. But we have to realize something. Different students live in different circumstances, different journey. They are not in the same shoes. Not all students can adapt well with these new ways of learning. So, we have recognized some issues that can become the challenge for the student in online education process. And that is what we're gonna highlight in this presentation. Before we go in further, let's take a look at the preview first. Next presenter will present the first two issues, which are technology issue and inability to focus on screen. And the third presenter will continue to explain the other two issues, which are not suitable for all subjects and requires strong self-motivation.
As we know, pandemic COVID-19 affected physical classes because the physical classes are not allowed by the government. So, the alternative of physical classes is online classes or online education. So, there will be several challenges in online classes. The first challenges is technology issue. As we know, by attending online classes and using online platforms such as Zoom, Google Meet, WebEx, and many more, and using this platform, the must need is internet access. So, not all students have good internet access in their homes. For example, some students who are in a rural area do not have good internet access, and the internet access was also disrupted by the other factors such as heavy rain and storms. And next, by using all the online platform, students not only need internet access, but students also need a good quality gadget or devices, such as a good spec of laptop, mobile phones, and tablets. So, not every student has a suitable devices to attend online classes and using those platforms. In our country, there are still people who cannot afford have their gadgets. Some of them had to share one gadget and have to use it and have to share it with the whole family. This disrupts their online learning process and will have a negative impact on their learning. The second challenges of online classes is inability to focus on screen. As we all know, 1 to 2 hours of physical classes can't be compared with online classes. Students have to look to their laptop screens in such periods. Facing direct contact to screen monitor for a long period can cause computer vision syndrome, or we call it CVS. And the CVS can cause students to struggle with focus on their screen for a long period. Some symptoms of CVS include headache, blurred vision, and neck pain. Next, because online classes can't be supervised by teachers or lecturers, so students are free to do whatever they want to do. Chance for students to be easily distracted by social media is very high. The student will fail to focus because it is easier to access to other sites. This causes students to not focus on what is being taught. Teachers must maintain their online lesson concise, interesting, and interactive to keep students focused on the topic.
The next point of the challenge of online education that is implemented nowadays is not suitable for all subjects. This is because for some subjects, it requires practical or hands-on training. Not all subjects are suitable to be taught only in theory. This is because when subjects that require hands-on or practicality are only taught in theory, it will make it difficult for students to fully understand what is being learned. This problem will also affect the teacher or lecturer because the explanation will be difficult for the student to understand. This problem also will affect the result of the student in their exam. For example, forestry subject such as botany subject, it requires students to physically hold the specimen so that the student can identify the tree. However, if the class is only conducted online, students will find it difficult to do the tree identification process. If this continues, it will have a negative impact on students and will cause burden to students because the things to be learned are difficult to understand. For some other subject, it requires face-to-face interaction. This is because this subject requires students to be in the field to apply the theories that have been taught and learned. If students only understand the theory, it will not help students to apply those skills. This is very worrying because if it lasts like this, it will affect the quality of a student, especially when entering the world of work. For example, recreational subject. It requires students to apply all the theories that have been learned in class so that they understand the theories that have been learned. It will also improve students' skill related to the theories that have been learned. When this cannot be done, the objective for the subject will not achieve. Next, the challenge that need to be faced for online education is students need a high level of self-motivation. This is because students have to study alone without being accompanied by friends who also study together. This forces students to have a high motivation to continue to strive to learn even alone. If this continues, it can also increase student stress and will affect with their academic achievement. For example, when classes are met physically, friends and teacher will become motivated to keep the student motivated to learn and achieve success. The learning atmosphere will also be more fun when students are able to meet their friends physically. Finally, the atmosphere of the house that is too comfortable also make the motivation in the student will disrupted. This is because the atmosphere at home is too comfortable will make students forget that they have a commitment to study. Students will be more likely to do other things than focus on their studies. As a result, it will cause various problems. For example, late submission of assignment, do not attend classes, and many more. Therefore, students require strong self-motivation so that they can overcome this problem. If this problem cannot be overcome, it will affect the achievement of students.
So, as a conclusion, we have to understand and able to adapt well with this new normal era. Education is one of the most important things in life. No matter how hard it is, we always need to seek the knowledge for future. I hope we as a student can set up well, mental and physical, to go through this adventurous journey. Before we end our presentation, I would like to share our one inspirational quotes from Malcolm X. Education is our passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare it today. Who? That's us. Thank you for your listening. Wallahu alam. Assalamualaikum.